Hello from beautiful upstate New York. The weather has been absolutely amazing. We are right on the coast of Lake Ontario. So we've had a lot of great beach time and it's been amazing. I shared on a couple of my social media channels yesterday how niceness and kindness are not the same thing. And really, niceness is the number two issue that I actually see come up with founders as to why they actually get stuck. I was recently watching a video by Dr. Benjamin Hardy where he was talking about the floor. And the floor exists even for the people that are operating within our company. And most people, when we first start out and we're hiring for this initial set of people, we're on a budget. And so we're simply hiring for relief. And we're trying to do it in a way that is really hyper cost effective to us in our business. But when we do that, it comes at a real cost. And as we continue to progress forward and grow and scale our businesses, what we see show up is an avoidance of the conversations that need to happen around performance. And that really has a particular cost to it. That level of avoidance is keeping people in your business who don't know how to operate, who don't know what good performance looks like, who cannot help us actually get to where it is that we want to go because they either lack experience or they lack the clarity from you as to what it is that they're supposed to be doing. Now, what we first need to do, and the number one reason I see that founders get stuck is they're not clear exactly in where they're wanting to go. So if you are familiar with my channel, you know you've heard me talk about your $1 million plus destinations. I've actually recently changed that to be your $10 million plus destinations, but you've got to get clear in the vision for what it is that you're building. You've got to get clear in your ideal role that you want for the future. You've got to get clear in the customer or client experience that you want to create. And you've got to get clear in those pesky metrics and be able to track the data around the actions that you're doing to see how they actually affect those lagging indicators. So those things that most of us actually do track. So your revenue, your gross margin, your net margin. If you're not tracking the stuff on the front end, you don't know how it impacts the back end. So those are the two primary reasons I see actually most founders get stuck when they're trying to grow and scale their business. So I'd love to know if there's any of you out there who are actually, avoiding the tough conversations with the people on your team, with the people that maybe aren't performing to the level of standard that you need to get you to the next level. Now, I do have a way that I usually instruct a lot of my clients to work that can help avoid that situation occurring at a future date. I call it operating by agreements. I'm all about alignment and agreements when it comes to roles in our business and performance standards that we're holding for our team. Now, when you're hiring somebody into your business, and when you have a particular role that you need to hire for, you have to make sure that those two things align so that you can both make a decision around whether or not this person is a fit for your business. On the employee side, or even the outsourced partner side, does the pay align? Do the job requirements align? Do the role specifications and responsibilities align with what it is that they want to do? I see it really frequently that we hire someone, they aren't really experienced in a lot of areas. Again, we're hiring for a cost effectiveness. We're hiring for a low dollar amount, maybe a low MRR. They come in, they're not really clear on what it is they're doing. They're fulfilling in multiple roles. And as we progress towards the future, we realize there's a huge gap in what we actually needed and the things that they're actually doing. I see this on repeat all the time, especially with executive and virtual assistants and their support levels in our business. But I also see it in other roles a lot as well, especially in the operations arena. You have to figure out, again, what role you actually need fulfilled. What are the first things that you really want to have off your plate? That's why your ideal role is so important. And then you've got to figure out if this person actually has the skill set to fulfill in that, or if it's something that they actually enjoy doing, they want to continue doing and building their expertise in for the future. Secondary to that, or I shouldn't say secondary, that's probably the wrong phrase for it. We have to create clear agreements around what performance looks like. So you've heard me say this on repeat over and over. You've got to be clear in what good performance looks like. You've got to be able to clearly communicate that to them, and you've got to have a way to you've got to have a way to actually measure what they are doing objectively, to have those conversations again around performance. I am all about creating performance agreements. So clearly outlining that role, clearly outlining their responsibilities, clearly outlining what your expectations of their performance looks like. In fact, I recommend removing that word expectations from your vocabulary, because if you have clarity, you no longer have expectations on either side. And then you create an agreement around what it is they're going to do and when they're going to do it by. And that agreement, being able to operate in that way, will create a level of accountability within them for what it is that they're doing. It will create a level of ownership in what they're doing, and it'll give you peace of mind that they're going to actually do it. So you don't have to ask those questions on repeat. What are you doing? When are you going to have this for me? Is this something that you're actually going to be able to do? What do you need from me? Hey, how's this thing going? Are you really going to get this to me by this date? Like, what's been happening on that? When you have agreements, when you have visibility into it, when your systems are set up to support that, you don't have to ask those questions anymore. You just know that things are actually moving and the needle's actually moving to get you forward, to move you forward and where it is that you want to grow. Operating by agreements is a very powerful way to operate within your business and to build that set of performance standards and to eventually build the high performing autonomous team that you truly, truly want in your business. That is the way that you create the freedom to start to step into the CEO role. Now, let's go back to niceness and kindness here. So niceness means that you're avoiding those tough conversations. You're avoiding having that level of clarity. You want this person to fit into your business because you really, really like them. They've been with you for 3 years and they've been doing X, Y, and Z. Niceness avoids all that. Kindness is actually sharing with them that they're not doing what it is that you need. It's removing the frustration that's actually probably felt on both sides, because they're probably frustrated because they're not sure if they're doing a good job. You're frustrated because they're not doing a good job. Kindness will remove that because you're having, again, crystal clear communication around what it is that you need them to do. And they're super clear in what good performance looks like. And you're creating the opportunity to see if there's actually alignment in what you need and what they are able and capable and willing to do for your business. Now, as you're having those conversations, you're creating that level of kindness, you're getting that clarity with them. A lot of times what I do see come up is that the person on the other side is like, well, I really don't want to do any of this work anymore. That doesn't really work for me. I've outgrown it. And the owner or the founder will actually shift and say, oh, okay, well, what do you want to do? And then the other person comes up with all the things that they actually want to do. And you create a whole new role that maybe you weren't even ready to fill yet. That's not something that I recommend. That's not what we're doing in this case. Again, we're just finding alignment. And if this person doesn't fit in the role that you actually need, then maybe it's time to seek out someone else to actually help you and perform the duties that you actually need. Because in order to actually build the business that you want, you do have to make the space to get you into your ideal CEO role. That is the most important role in your actual business. The place where you get to sit in strategy and vision in your unique skill set in order to continue to push it forward. So I just thought I would go live today and kind of share a little more about my thoughts around this, because again, I did share on some of my social media channels yesterday, and it actually proves to be one of the most powerful conversations that I can actually have with a lot of my clients. It takes a little while to get them on board to this level of thinking. I'll be really honest. When you're shifting from that space of reactivity into proactivity, when you're shifting from, you want to be nice to everyone in your company and you want to be known as the nice leader, into the leader who's crystal clear in the vision and is almost relentless in their pursuit of getting to whatever that looks like for them. It takes a long path to get there. So hope everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday, and appreciate you all.